So, according to some polls that I have taken with my audience over time, on and off, many of you guys and gals out there are actually home owners, which really surprised me considering, well, I sort of gear my channel for maybe renters, and it's okay. Thank you so much for being here and listening to my audios and my videos. I consider that an extreme, extreme compliment. But I want to talk today about people who are really struggling to make ends meet, like really struggling. If that's not you, well, you're still more than welcome to listen to the video. But for those that are, listen up because it's extremely important. And I'll be back in a minute. Good morning. Good morning. This is Jan from New York City. Channel name Jan from New York City saves money. I truly love helping people to keep some more of their own hard earned money, and especially people who are struggling to make ends meet. Now, I don't know why, but lately in my feed, you know how like you get videos come up in your YouTube feed? For some reason, the algorithm keeps showing me videos about people that are in the process of getting evicted. And I'm like, who on earth would, create such videos? But you want to know something? Those videos are very interesting, very sad, but very real life. And it made me think, I said, you know something? If there is any reason to create this message today, it is to help avoid anyone from getting into that predicament. How can we do that? So often you turn on the TV and you hear all these staggering numbers, people making, like a gazillion dollars in whatever chosen field. And that's wonderful. We're really happy. But you want to know something? Not everyone is in that position. And some people who have worked jobs for a very long time find themselves, because they thought their job was secure, not having that job. Okay. I went through that. Okay. I went through that back in 1997. But I sort of saw the signs on the wall that people were being let go on and off because there was a revamping in the audience. It had nothing to do with my in the audience. I just say that a revamping in the staff. See, I'm thinking of audience. A revamping in the staff. And I said, this is weird. It seemed like the office was getting thinner and thinner by the moment. So they were having financial issues, managerial issues, and it had nothing to do with the workers at all, and they were letting people go. So I said to myself, "Ugh, this doesn't look too good." And then finally, on Valentine's Day in 1997, a whole bunch of us were given the old, as I call, heave ho. And it was not fun. It was not fun. I'm only glad that I was ready. Let's listen to these words. I was ready. Say it again. I was ready for such a situation, because in earlier times I kept squirreling and squirreling. It took a while. It took a while. I was squirreling and squirreling to make sure that I had my needs met for my emergency funding. Now, some people say they put like a dollar amount on the emergency funding. I can't do that, and I'll tell you why. Because it depends on everybody's situation. Now, what do you need for an emergency fund? Well, for those, let's start over. For those that are truly, truly struggling, like struggling to make ends meet normally, make sure that you have, at the very least, let's start with a teensy weensy, tiny, tiny, itsy bitsy emergency fund. What? Yes. At the very least, you have to sit down with your little calculator. You don't have a calculator? Well, you probably do because you're listening to me on one of those phones, right? With your little calculator, add up all of your absolute necessities, okay? And at the very least, have at least 1 month fully funded, all your necessities available emergency fund. If your rent is $1,000, you include your $1,000. If your light's $100, you add that to it. So we talk about electricity, we talk about rent. You figure on food, couple of $100, maybe put 200 to 300 on that. See, everybody's situation is different. Somebody else may have a $1,500 a month rent. Somebody else may have a $2,000 a month rent. Somebody else may have an $800 a month rent. It all varies, but sit down and put that into your teensy weensy, itsy bitsy emergency fund. Start from there. Now, don't stop. Don't stop. Nice to know you got that month. Am I right or am I right? If you watch one of those videos, which I may decide to hook up in my description box, and why not? I'll take a minute and throw one of those videos on to take a look at the extremity of the situation. There are people there that, I mean, they look, and of course, they're terrified. They don't know what to do, where to go. A lot of it's just, it's a very sad, sad situation. But a lot of situations in life are preventable, are preventable. So why don't we get into the let's prevent any such thing from happening in your life or your family's life, and just get started with at least month number one. Now, the experts, financial experts, suggest for a fully funded emergency fund, many are very comfortable at the 6-month level. So you're going to start small. You're going to start with your itsy bitsy, teensy weensy, get started. And thankfully, you'll have at least for 1 month so you're ahead of the game. Should you get a sudden job loss? Everybody forgets about sudden job loss because people think that some people, not all, but some people think things are going to last forever and nothing can happen. A person could walk into an office that they were employed by for a long, long time, suddenly to find out that that business folded. I don't want to sound gloomy and doomy. I'm just talking real life. And here's the optimistic part. The optimistic part is that you would be ready. So like I said earlier, okay, earlier in this audio video, for a lot of people listening, they're homeowners. They're not behind in anything. They're totally doing well. Thank God. I'm so happy for you. And that's great. Although some homeowners could be, struggling too. I'm not saying it's a panacea. Maybe they're behind in their mortgage payments. I don't know that. Anybody listening, it would do a world of good to really cut back on expenses and increase your income. You got to know your numbers. I always say this. I say this almost to the point of sounding like too repetitive, but you have to get familiar with your numbers. Once you are familiar with your numbers, and not to be afraid of the numbers, wouldn't you rather sit down and know your numbers now? Put away all, the money that you need that might be going in the garbage can by doing silly stuff, and have it ready for the heaven forbid days. I wish everybody well, 100%. I really, really do. And I pray for all my friends and family. I pray for everyone in the world. I really do. But sometimes, even though I'm praying, it doesn't necessarily mean that those people are never, ever, ever going to have a problem. So why not be ready? I always say this, err on the side of caution. Now, let's switch gears for a minute and talk about the heat. The heat in many areas of the country lately is like, like staggering heat. Please do take good care. Do take good care during these hot days, especially. Remain hydrated. Do all the things you need to do. Now, a very well-respected viewer sent in a suggestion, and some of the best ideas come from you guys and gals. I'm just saying the truth. It really, really does. So make sure, and it was a good reminder, make sure that your air conditioner filters are clean, or if they need to be replaced, they are replaced. That could really cut down on the efficiency of your unit. And you're not going to feel as cooled off as you deserve to feel and what you're paying for. Not to mention, it's also a struggle for the machine, because it is a machine after all, to struggle to work if the air conditioning filters are dirty. Let's think about that. So we don't want that. So now's a great time, in case you have not done so, to make sure that your air conditioner filters are cleaned or need replacing. And great contributor of suggestion also mentioned about water filters. Make sure the water filters are nice and clean, and you know what to do. So like I said, reverting back a minute, to the video. Okay, there are a ton of these videos, and it really it just like it broke my heart because in some of these situations, children are involved. It must be terrifying for a little kid to watch, a situation like that as far as getting an eviction, looking at, what is going on here. So I know everyone listening is really, really smart. Heaven bless everyone listening. Squirrel away your money. Find ways to squirrel it away. Ask yourself, do I want to ever be in that situation? Of course not. You never want to be in that situation. So put your money away, save, 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 grow, 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 and start small. Every single thing that you do, you start it small, and it's not so overwhelming. For example, if I said to you, you really need to have that 6 months of a fully funded emergency fund now. Well, it's a desire to have a 6 month of fully funded emergency fund, but it may not be feasible. However, isn't it more feasible? And yes, the bird clock, isn't it more feasible and realistic to think, well, I'm going to sit down with my calculator today and I'm going to figure out precisely what I need to keep this place going for 1 month. But you don't stop when you hit the month. That's the thing. And another thing, if you need to get a job, an extra job to make sure it happens, do it. Get a temporary job or, start that side hustle. You might enjoy it. Who knows? Maybe one day your side hustle may become your full time gig. And I always think it's great to be in control of how you manage your money, especially self-employment is always a good thing. And yes, a side hustle is a form of self-employment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, everybody, wishing everybody an amazing, fantastic day. If you found value in this video, and I certainly hope that you did, please smash down the like button. Don't forget to consider subscribing to this channel to never miss an upload. Monday through Friday, I have my Instant Coffee with Jan show at 12:05 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Over the weekends, I do random shows. Maybe on a Saturday you might get one. Maybe on a Sunday you might get one. Maybe on both days you might get one or two. You never know. That's why it's important to stay subscribed and tap the bell for notifications. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Thank you. Bye-bye.